There doesn't seem to be a lot of appetite within the Republican Party to distance oneself from any of this.
When asked directly, are you going to uphold the Constitution? Him saying, I don't know.
Constantly having to parse what he means. And it's this kind of like, do you think he means this? It's like this Rorschach test.
Let's hop into another CNN panel, this time on the KZ Hunt side of things, not the Abby Phillip Scott Jennings, but they're further discussing Trump and the Constitution, what values we should uphold as a country, as he states he doesn't know if he has to uphold it. So if you can, take a moment, leave a like on the video. As always, we really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton, and we'll hop right into the panel.
Him simply saying, when asked directly, are you going to uphold the Constitution? Him saying, I don't know. What does that mean?
Well, first of all, I think that there were elements to these different questions, okay? The notion that he doesn't know if there's due process, he's not a lawyer, we'll take him at his word on that. I think that the bigger question and the bigger issue, of course, is what it means about the migration of the Republican Party. Because at one point, I do think this was the sort of pinnacle value for many Republicans, right? Defending and upholding the Constitution. And the reality is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of appetite within the Republican Party to distance oneself from any of this.
I've really been trying to psychoanalyze why Republicans were so willing and quick even to step away from their values to blindly follow Trump. Was it racism? Was it misogyny? Was it just a quest for power where they saw Trump might have an avenue? And while I do think those all come into play for sure, I think it really boils down to something a lot more simple. I don't think they ever really understood or valued the Constitution. I think it was a marketing scheme. It's that simple, literally. I think they knew, hey, we have pretty good control over the gun nuts, right? The people who want the Second Amendment to be in total and we can own ARs and tanks and blah, blah, blah. We can lock that in. But the problem is there's no statistical defense to make, right? There's literally not a study, not any data you could give to support less gun laws. So they latched onto the constitutional argument. Well, we believe in guns because we believe in the Constitution, which even that, again, misses the points of the Bill of Rights. We don't have to litigate that right here, but it did just make it an easy buzzword for them where they clearly don't know much about any of the other amendments, any of the other parts in the Constitution.
I think the problem with the president is that we're constantly having to parse what he means. And it's this kind of like, do you think he means this? It's like this Rorschach test. If you're a Republican, you see, it's all, stars and stripes. And if you are a Democrat, they're worried and they see a demagogue. And that is the problem. He's never definitive. He's never clear. This I don't know that is constantly being used allows for a lot of interpretation. And then when he does something later, he says, well, I told you I was going to do it. And so this is the problem that constantly happens, I think.
Adrienne?
Yeah, I completely agree, man. Look, here's the bottom line. I think we always have to take Donald Trump for his word. I mean, many of the things he said on the campaign trail, whether it's I'm going to restrict women's access to abortion or whether I'm going to enact tariffs or whatever it may be.
Maybe the authoritarian things he's pretty good at living up to and doing what he said, but he's pretty quickly forgotten the no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. He's forgot to bring down prices. He forgot to stop the war in Ukraine and Russia on day one. But what Trump is doing at this point is he's just testing the waters with his rhetoric. I think he's saying these extremely radical things to kind of just see how his base responds, and the things he withhold or that he can withhold enough support on when he says that, like, hey, MAGA is buying into this, then he's going to go along with it. But if it's something that Republicans are like, hey, this is kind of crazy, then maybe he'll pull back. But it should be a very easy answer, I think. I mean, this is the oath he swears, as we'll see in just a second. So a president saying, I don't know if I should uphold the Constitution in any capacity, right? Answering anything but a vehement, unhesitated, yes, I will defend the Constitution should be scary. No matter what side you're on, especially if you're the party that values the Constitution, right? Like, how long before we're doing this to American citizens, where, again, these people pretend it applies to a one-cell organism, but not to an undocumented immigrant.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Preserving, protecting, and defending the Constitution is the only thing you swear to do. Other federal officials, even the vice president, have to swear to defend the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic, while also promising allegiance and affirming that they're doing it without any mental reservation, purpose of evasion, etc. You've heard it. The president, again, just one job.
This is remarkable to me as well, mostly because of the curve that Trump is graded on. Like, if Biden said this, well, first, MAGA would run for 2 weeks saying that he has dementia and couldn't remember what he said when he swore in, and oh my God. And then they would claim that he's like a communist dictator or something, and, you know, he let the mask show for a second, or his dementia, like, led him to be truthful. But when Trump does it, it's just like, who cares? Trump being Trump. He said he doesn't know the Constitution. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Who knows? Like, he said he wanted to terminate it on the campaign trail. He literally called for the termination of the Constitution, and now he's saying he doesn't know if he has to uphold it, as he blatantly disregards it. Like, at what point does MAGA draw the sand in the line? I don't think there is one, but we should care because, as she points out, it's like the one job of the president. I don't know. And in doing so, you preserve democracy, which is crucial to what differentiates America from the rest of the world, where Trump is vindicating the left with these clear orchestrated attacks on our democratic structures, as MAGA pretended we had lost our mind. Oh, why are you guys even thinking about another election? You said Trump would destroy democracy. Well, he's literally doing it. We're trying to fight back against it. And it's not something we can stand for, definitely not something we should stand for. And only one party is willing to put their, even I would say, electability on the line to defend constitutional principles. And that's the left.